If you are confused as to whether you need to report, what you should report, or unsure whether your incident is even work-related, which is a very important question to get correct, then I recommend you stick around for this one. The RIDDOR regulations in Great Britain and Northern Ireland require employers, the self-employed and those in control of premises to report specified workplace incidents. Incident and accident reports generated as part of the RIDDOR reporting requirements are sent typically to the HSE or the Health and Safety Executive. What does RIDDOR stand for? Well, RIDDOR stands for the Reporting of Injuries, Diseases and Dangerous Occurrences Regulations. In simple terms, it's the rules for external reporting of accidents and incidents that happen in your workplace. Now that you know what RIDDOR stands for more must-know information on the RIDDOR regulations, such as who should report, how to report, and when to report, keep watching. It's not valuable just to know the answer to the question, what is RIDDOR? You need to be able to understand why it is important. In a typical year in Great Britain, as an example, over 500,000 injuries occur at work, and around 1.8 million workers were suffering from either new or long-standing work-related ill health. If you want to look for in-depth statistics relating to your industry or location, go to your regulator and they should have this type of information available for you. The RIDDOR regulations are in place to help keep you and your colleagues safe at work. When you follow the RIDDOR or similar reporting requirements, it helps your regulator to gather important data on work-related illness and injury. This allows them to monitor and track trends, allowing them to invest resource towards education and prevention strategies for the future. Legislation is also important because it helps to keep employers accountable for what goes on under their watch. In theory, this should encourage people to follow health and safety procedures in the workplace, which helps to reduce the number of accidents. At least that's the aim. As you can see from the chart, slips and trips and manual handling are the cause of over 50% of the non-fatal RIDDOR accidents. When it comes to fatalities, we can also see that the trend is that over 50% are caused by either falls from height or being struck by a vehicle or moving object. If employers do ignore the RIDDOR regulations and fail to report incidents, they could be breaking the law. By following the correct procedures, employers can ensure that risks are addressed and future risk is kept to a minimum. So what is RIDDOR reportable? As an employer, it's a legal requirement to report all RIDDOR incidents, no matter how big or small. But how do we determine what is RIDDOR reportable? There are some general rules that we can use to help with compliance with the RIDDOR regulations, and these include the following. Recording all reportable injuries and illnesses lasting more than 7 days in Great Britain. You also must report specific types of injuries, deaths, or dangerous occurrences. You should keep your accident and incident records in a secure file or accident book or on a software solution, and store these for a minimum of 3 years. Any events that are RIDDOR reportable should be reported within a 10-day time frame after the event. A few more things to remember on the reporting side of things. RIDDOR reporting should be done through the online reporting system via the HSE or HSE NI websites. Ensure your accident or incident records are updated as necessary when new information or evidence comes to light. An important point to remember is that in the event of a work-related compensation claim, the insurance company will want to see your incident or accident records. That was a quick outline of what is RIDDOR reportable, and we'll go into more detail shortly. But let's figure out who actually has responsibility for doing the RIDDOR reporting. Once we've established that, we'll perform a check to see if the accident is work-related or not. Another important aspect, who should report? Only responsible persons, including employers, the self-employed, or people in control of work premises, should submit reports under the RIDDOR regulations. If you're an employee, representative, or member of the public wishing to report an accident or incident about which you have concerns, please refer and speak with the appropriate regulator for advice. For those in control of premises, you must report any work-related deaths, certain injuries to members of the public or self-employed that happen on your premises, and also dangerous occurrences, in other words, severe near-miss incidents. For the self-employed, if you're working in someone else's work premises and suffer either a specified injury or an over 7-day injury, over 3 days in Northern Ireland, then the person in control of the premises will be responsible for that reporting. So of course you need to inform those that are in control of the premises. A couple of other things: if there is a reportable accident while you're working on your own premises or in domestic premises, or if a doctor tells you that you have a work-related disease or condition, then you need to report it. Now, this is one that can cause all sorts of confusion for people, figuring out if an event is actually work-related, because of course, if an accident or incident is not deemed to be work-related, then there is no obligation to report it to your regulator. Hence, we need to make sure we get this one right. What sort of injuries are reportable then? RIDDOR uses 3 tests to determine whether an incident should be reported to the HSE. Hey there, I'm really sorry to barge in on you during this video, but I have an important message. We realise that lots of the viewers on our YouTube channel get frustrated with the ads that are on our channel here, so we put together some simple solutions for you. If you're looking for the full quality ad-free version of this content, you can now stream, download, or even take it as a course. Just check out the links in the description to see those options, and thanks for your support. Now let's get back to it. Let's look at it in a bit more detail. The first question is, was it an accident which caused the injury? For an incident to be considered an accident, it needs to have an identifiable external event which causes the injury. For example, a broken leg caused by a collision with a forklift truck would be an accident. On the other hand, a bad back caused simply by bending down may not be considered a work-related accident. In other words, it's not RIDDOR reportable. The second question is, was it work-related? To decide whether an accident was work-related, you need to consider whether any of the following were a factor. First of all, the way in which the work itself was carried out. Secondly, were any machinery, equipment, or substances, such as chemicals, involved? And lastly, was the condition of the site or work area a significant factor in causing the accident? The third question then is, was the incident itself reportable? If we have met the first 2 criteria, that it was an accident and it was work-related, then the following injuries and illnesses should be reported. First of all, the death of any person. Secondly, any injury to workers that appears on the HSE's specified injury list. Injuries to workers that make them unable to attend work or carry out their normal duties for more than 7 days, or in Northern Ireland, as we said previously, more than 3 days. We also have injuries to non-workers such as the public and visitors, which cause them to be taken directly to hospital for treatment. The RIDDOR regulations also cover other workplace incidents, including cases of specific occupational diseases, dangerous occurrences, and gas incidents. Now let's take a look at what those specified illnesses, injuries, and incidents are. Firstly, fractures. This doesn't include fingers, thumbs, or toes. Then we have amputation, followed by loss or reduction of sight. We also have crush injuries where there may be internal organ damage. Also included is unconsciousness caused by head injury or asphyxia. There's also some others which may not be just as common, such as serious burns that cover more than 10% of the body or damage the eyes, respiratory system, or other vital organs. You also must report any injury that is a result of working in an enclosed space and that leads to hypothermia, heat-induced illness, or requires resuscitation or hospital treatment for over 24 hours. It's worth noting here that it's easy to focus on injuries as they are usually obvious and require short-term action. But it's important not to forget about occupational diseases which are typically progressive over longer periods of time. Keeping in close contact with your human resources representative within the business is important here and very helpful to make sure you're not missing any critical information when it comes to potential illness or injury that may be RIDDOR reportable. Also, not only should businesses be identifying and recording near misses, there is a legal obligation in the UK to report when these are severe. In the UK, these are known as dangerous occurrences. Let's look at some examples of both occupational diseases and dangerous occurrences to get you familiar. First, let's take a look at occupational diseases. If any of the following are likely to have been caused or made worse by work practices, they are considered occupational diseases and must be reported under the RIDDOR regulations. Firstly, severe cramp or tendinitis of the hand or forearm. Hand-arm vibration or carpal tunnel syndrome. Occupational dermatitis or other skin sensitivity conditions. Any occupational cancer, asthma or similar respiratory issues. And lastly, disease caused by exposure to a biological agent. Dangerous occurrences then refer to severe near-miss incidents that could have caused serious harm. And these include things such as explosions or fire that resulted in work stopping for over 24 hours, plant or equipment coming into contact with overhead power lines, load-bearing parts of lifts or lifting equipment collapsing, overturning or failing. And there's another event category that you may not be aware of, which is RIDDOR reportable, and that is gas incidents. This requirement is specifically geared towards certain groups of workers. Let's look at what is required for this type of report. You must report certain gas incidents to the HSE. If you're a distributor, filler, importer or supplier of flammable gas, you must report incidents if you learn someone has died, lost consciousness or been hospitalized due to an injury connected with the gas you were responsible for. Furthermore, gas engineers must provide details of appliances or fittings they believe to be a danger to life or that could cause unconsciousness or hospital treatment. Here's some further information that you'll need to make sure you record in the event of an accident or incident at your workplace. Don't worry, we'll leave some links to some free templates and supporting information that you can take with you to make sure you're doing things right. These include the date, time and location of the incident or accident, the personal details including name, job title, etc. of the person or persons involved, a description of the injury, illness or occurrence, and of course the date that your RIDDOR report is submitted to your regulator. The responsible person should have their RIDDOR form completed and submitted to the relevant regulator within 10 days of the incident or event occurring. Once you've submitted your report, make sure to keep a copy of course for your own records and also get an acknowledgement from the regulatory body to make sure they've received it. That's us for this summary of the RIDDOR regulations and the requirements that you need to follow. As I was saying previously, we'll put some supporting materials for you to access in the links or the materials file alongside this information. Hopefully that will help you going forward. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to get in contact. We hope you found this short video on RIDDOR helpful, and we'll throw another video up here that you can check out because we think you'll find it useful too.